It was an immense sense of pride. I enjoyed just walking through the hall of the Allen Building and trying to imagine myself, imagine if I were there in 1969. And
we've been meeting for 2.5 years on the oldest demands, nothing had come of them. And today the university again refused to meet with us when we asked them to while we were in there.
We're actually here standing in the hallway where the Allen Building takeover took place. The students walked in through the front door over there and down this hallway to about midway where the Central Records Room used to stand.
Documentary studies made this history accessible, and it was clear to me that there was really no other way to tell it.
The remarkable thing about Caitlin's work was that she took a general assignment and was keen to follow some of the suggestions I made in class to go into the archives and to dig deep. One of the discoveries she made that I wasn't even aware was the audio, what we might call the sound of protest.
North Carolina State Highway Patrol. This is 6:40, an hour after the ultimatum time. They are armed with 3 tear gas guns. Surprisingly enough, we've just been informed that the black students vacated the administration building, and they have begun marching down Campus Drive away from the chapel.
We were talking about student activism on Duke's campus, and Professor Wallace brought up the Allen Building takeover again. And this time, as I looked around at my classmates, it was blank stare after blank stare. I decided that I wanted to make the Allen Building takeover the focus of my documentary studies senior capstone project.
A student who was not content to live in that everyday ignorance of the past that is so customary in our culture, but that actually made a project of going back, piecing together the history, piecing together the human experience of this event.
And right beside him was standing Jacob Tobiah. And Jacob is an activist for inclusivity for LGBT people on campus. And they were standing there, and I thought, well, we're not there yet. We're not as inclusive as we all hope that we can be. What other steps can we take?
Those people were, although lauded as heroes now, still sort of targets of condescension at the time.
Right.
And I think it's important to understand that, because then when, as a current Duke student,
Right.
when you think about the actions that you want to do and the legacy you want to leave, you can remember that sometimes it's easy to predict when you'll be on the right side of history.
And when I was talking to these students, basically what I was trying to say is, press on. The fight is hard now, but 50 years from now, we're going to be looking back on this, and in a different way, you'll be on those panels.
we're forever indebted to them for creating the campus that we have inherited. And all we can do is try our best to tell their stories.
And I think that my background in doc studies and it being so much about the individual and their experience and bringing voice to people, especially people who have been voiceless, that I always wanted to bring those people back into the conversation. And I think that was valuable to everyone.
That Caitlin has used the tools of the university to tell the story of a time when the university was uncomfortable with itself is ideal. That she did it here and not just somewhere else about this institution shows that the institution itself has grown, and documentary studies is right at the heart of its best self.